But what a great football game. You can't ask for much more than that. You go into somebody else's field. You've got a sellout crowd of 65,000 fans at Texas Stadium. And you go back and forth, bunch of points scored right there in the first quarter, got wild and woolly, and then the defenses got into it, and you had a little bit of everything. And with the exception of maybe a few too many penalties on the part of Atlanta, it was just a sensational football game. Dallas does win it, 31-27 the final score, but that doesn't mean the Falcons have not won the West, because now the Falcons' fate rests in the hands of the Phoenix Cardinals and New Orleans Saints. They are playing out west right now, and Phoenix leads New Orleans 3-0. Now, throughout the afternoon, we are going to check in on that broadcast off of WWL radio out of New Orleans. We're going to be checking in periodically, at least several minutes every half an hour. We'll monitor the broadcast, and we'll bring it up when important things are happening. So if you want to know what's going to happen in that football game, it's not on television or anything like that. Just keep it tuned right here, and we'll keep you abreast of the situation. Now, let's quickly run through the other scores of the day. It was Detroit beating Buffalo 17-14, the final score. Pittsburgh beat Cleveland 17-10. Tampa Bay over Indianapolis 17-3. Cincinnati over New England 29-7. And the Jets beat Miami 23-20 in overtime. Bad news, though, for Miami. Had they won that football game, they would have gone into the playoffs without Reggie Roby there. All-pro punter, ruptured an Achilles tendon. And they presume he'll be ready to go next year, but that is a serious injury. Now, the 4 o'clock games, besides the Phoenix lead over New Orleans of 3-0 in the first period, Kansas City and the Raiders tied at 7 apiece. Barry Word with a 1-yard touchdown run for the Chiefs. Todd Marinovich has thrown a 26-yard touchdown pass to Tim Brown. So Marinovich getting his first National Football League start, and he begins it with a bang 7-7 game in the first period. Philadelphia leads Washington 7-0 in the first quarter. Otis Smith with a 74-yard interception return for the Eagles, and Philadelphia up by a touchdown early. And Denver, behind a David Treadwell 42-yard field goal, leads San Diego 3-0. That is also in the first period of play. Now, this program is Falcon Sports Talk, and we're going to take a lot of calls and talk a lot of pro football this afternoon. Our phone number, 872-0750, long distance, 1-800-WSB-TALK. My name is Jim Powell. Our producer is Keith Pepper. And again, we will be checking in on that New Orleans broadcast in just a few moments, so keep it tuned right here. Right now, let's get to the phones. We do have a line open if you'd like to join us. Maverick in Marietta, you're up next on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Great game, huh?
It was.
Well, I'd like to just take my hat off to Larry, who was commentating the game over the radio. I watched it on TV and listened to it over the radio. And it was pretty delighting because I'm a Cowboy fan, and to listen to the game over the radio, to pretty much listen to a non-bias, the way he announced the game, I thought it was great. It was exciting here for my wife and I. We moved from Dallas, and I think it was a great game, great for football.
Nice call by the ref back there in the end zone down the stretch for you, wasn't it?
Well, you noticed that guy ran out, so you could pretty much knock his head off. Once he's out of bounds, you can do anything you want.
He was pushed out.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I think I talked to you last week during the week, and we talked about that game in which the Falcons knocked the Cowboys out last year. And, you know, I mean, I think it was just, you know, our time to get in there. But, you know, like I said, it was a great game.
What goes around comes around, huh?
You bet it does.
Yeah. It was a great football game, and it's in some ways, I guess it's unfortunate that Atlanta and Dallas are not going to meet again next week. I was kind of thinking that back-to-back games between those two might be kind of fun, but I think those two teams left everything they had on the field today. It may be better to see some fresh faces next week.
Oh, you bet. I've been a Cowboy fan. I did not want Dallas to come here next week. I mean, you know, to play the Falcons here next week, I think it would have been devastating. I'll take my chances in Chicago or Detroit.
Maverick, good luck to your Cowboys.
Hey, thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Gary in Stone Mountain, you're next on AM-750 WSB. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
First, I'd like to say congratulations to the Falcons. They played an excellent football game today. Atlanta's been waiting a long time, win or lose, to see a football game like this where they played their hearts out. You can't fault what they did. Secondly, I'd like to say that I've been a Chris Miller basher from the beginning.
You mean Atlanta's Pro Bowl quarterback?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I wondered, because we took so many calls that were critical of Chris Miller early in the season, I wondered how many people could not get to sleep the night that Chris Miller was named to the Pro Bowl.
Well, that didn't bother me because the last 4 or 5 games, Chris Miller hasn't ducked his head. When Chris Miller ducks his head and starts moping, in the past, it's been over. Now it seems like June Jones probably has had a lot to do with this. He has matured as a quarterback. When things go wrong, he doesn't duck his head and mope like a high school kid would do. Instead, he says, hey, come on, we can still get it. That's what had to happen before Chris Miller was ever going to be a professional quarterback. He's always had the potential. He's always had the ability. But it was whether in his heart or in his head, he was going to realize his potential. I think that June Jones, Jerry Glanville have stuck with him. I think that support gave him the stability that he needed to come through. I'm real proud of him.
You make some good observations, Gary.
Thanks.
I appreciate the call.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk our numbers. Next up is Corey in East Point. Corey, you're on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Okay, first I'd like to say the Falcons played a tremendous game today. Very good game. My only question is, I didn't like some of the callings that the refs made. I just think that when the Falcons go out and they see that the Falcons are finally to start winning, they try to do anything they can to hold them back.
Well, there were some questionable calls today. I don't know if, I don't think that any officials go out to say, hey, we're not going to let this Atlanta team win. I don't think it's a case of that. You might have a series of bad calls that go against you. Just like if you flipped a coin 10 times, you might happen to hit heads 7 times, even though it's a 50-50 shot. I think it's more coincidence than anything else.
But it just, have you ever noticed that it just happens a lot lately? Like, they don't call a lot of holding calls on the offensive line of the other team as Falcons.
Did you ever consider the possibility maybe the other offensive line's not holding?
Yes, they were. I was looking at it pretty much because I play football myself.
Well, I will say this. Sports Illustrated did a very telling researched piece a couple of years ago that I thought was very informative, that talked a lot about the color of teams' uniforms and then what that does to you penalty-wise. And they concluded that teams that wore black uniforms got called for more penalties than teams that wore white uniforms or teams that wore orange uniforms or, in fact, any other color uniform. No, maybe there's a little bit, statistically, they found in their piece that was the case, so I assume that translates over to an Atlanta team that wears black on the field. Maybe that does cost them a few extra penalties. Plus, you get a reputation as a bunch of headhunters, which the Falcons have been the last couple of years, good or bad, an intimidating type team, and then you walk out there in those black uniforms and start mashing on people, and referees will have a tendency to have their eyes fixed on you and not on the Dallas Cowboy, who might be committing a penalty, like that penalty very late in the football game today in the end zone that was not called. I thought Munson and Van Note were all over that. They had a great call on that particular play. Thanks very much for the call. We go next to Keith in Norcross. You're on AM-750 WSB. Hi.
Hi, Jim. I just wanted to say, have you ever noticed how Chris Miller, he's real good on the long bomb, got a perfect throw and everything, but on the short ones, he always seems to be throwing toward the shoe tops.
Sometimes he throws too high. He's not a perfect passer. He gets into grooves where he'll throw 6 or 7 great balls, whether they're long balls or short balls, and then he'll get into a groove where he does not throw the ball well. But
he seems to throw 10 or 15, real low toward the ground at the receiver short passes.
Well, if you're throwing shorts, you definitely don't. You want to try to throw the ball low as opposed to high for a couple of reasons. One is, particularly if it's right over the middle on a little slant, you don't want your receiver leaping in the air where he becomes, after he catches the football, a sitting duck for the defensive backs. And secondly, and perhaps even more importantly, if you overthrow a guy short, all the defensive backs are behind him. So you're just begging for an interception. So they'd much prefer you to throw the ball waist level or below than shoulder pad level or higher, and maybe he's missing a little bit too far low.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the call. And quickly we move on to John in Alpharetta. You're on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Hi.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
I just want to say that I'm proud of the Falcons. I thought they played a great game. They made a lot of stupid mistakes, but they overcame them to the most part. I want to thank them for the season they've had. And basically, I think, Chris Miller's had a great 5 weeks and a little bit of a response to the caller previous to me. And, everyone's due for a little bit of an off week, and I'd like to see anybody that calls in on the show be able to throw with the wet turf as wet as it was today and throw as accurate as Miller and Berline did do at certain times. I commend Chris Miller. I think he's the quarterback of the future for the Falcons. And anyone that criticizes him, to me, is an idiot. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, but they really are.
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion, though you and I obviously share the same opinion. John, thanks very much for the call. I'll tell you what, we're going to drop in on the Saints broadcast right now. New Orleans is 2nd and goal, and driving on Phoenix, the Cardinals leading 3-0.
Saints have 3 tight ends in the game. Look for some type of play action, bootleg action here.
Wainwright will go in motion. Handoffs go straight ahead down to about the 6-yard line as the Saints try to keep it straight ahead with Dalton Hilliard. It'll be a 3rd down and goal, and right now there's a player hurt down there. Looks like Michael Zordich, the free safety. He's not getting up either. He's got a leg problem. He's bent over, and he's having a hard time getting up.
Well,
Zordich are faced with 3rd and goal from the 5.
Zordich is another Plan B acquisition for the Cardinals. They have several.
Well, we got a timeout. We'll take the break along with them down there.
All right, and we will check back into that football game. In fact, we'll go back to them right after we take our timeout. We're going to pause for a break, and we'll come back and give you the conclusion of the Saints drive in just a moment.
Here's what's happening at AM-750 WSB. I'm Scott Slade. Listen to Atlanta's Morning News for your chance to win tickets to see the USA-Russia Hockey Exhibition, December 29th at the Omni.
Watch the Tournament of Roses Parade for the Delta Float. And then listen 4 to 7 p.m. to win a trip for 2 to Los Angeles via Delta Airlines. We love to fly and it shows. Accommodations provided by Ritz-Carlton, Marina Del Rey, and an Alamo Rent-A-Car. Semifinalists will also receive roses by FTD Florist.
And join AM-750 WSB and Channel 2 as we present Georgia's biggest blood drive happening on January 2nd. The blood supply drops dangerously low during the holidays, so we need you to donate blood at centers throughout the metro area. For center locations, contact 881-9800. It's another Heart of Atlanta project from AM-750 WSB. And these holiday program notes, Santa Claus will be on AM-750 WSB live from the North Pole, 4 to 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. You can call and talk to Santa, and a special family program will start Christmas Eve and continue all Christmas Day. Listen for An American Christmas, the songs and stories of the holiday. I'm Wes Minner, where you can join me weeknights for Hardball Talk Radio on the issues. And that's what's happening on AM-750 WSB.
Unabashed, unrestrained, unexpected. Those are the kinds of gifts that await you at Cumberland Mall. Gifts of imagination. Ooh, gifts that sparkle. Gifts of warmth and wonder that come straight from your heart. Gifts for everyone on your list in fine shops like Cachet, Ann Taylor, the Disney Store, and Soiree. Enter our magical halls and discover a myriad of ways to delight all who are near and dear this Christmas. For the heart to please on your list, purchase a Cumberland Mall gift certificate redeemable in all our fine shops, including Rich's, Macy's, Sears, and JCPenney. Cumberland Mall gift certificates available at our mall information desk. MasterCard and Visa accepted. Shop Cumberland Mall, located at I-285, I-75, and Cobb Parkway.
AM-750 WSB Sports Talk back on the air, and let's head immediately out to Phoenix. The Saints are now 4th and goal inside Phoenix territory.
Morton Anderson will attempt what appears to be about a 28-yard field goal.
Morton has never missed a field goal against the Cardinals. He's 8 for 8 in his career. He's 23 for 30 on the year.
This one's up.
Make it 9 for 9.
Yep, it is good. A 28-yard field goal for Anderson has tied the game at 3. So with a timeout, 9:26 to play. In the second period, the score is tied now. Saints 3 and the Cardinals 3.
Scott Slade here with another AM-750 WSB Lewis Rich Turkey Bacon Mobile alert. Look out, Atlanta, for this aerodynamic and totally delicious vehicle. I'll let you know every day where the Lewis Rich Turkey Bacon Mobile will be. Find it, and you can register to win an all-expense-paid trip to the Tournament of the Americas in Portland, Oregon to see the 1992 U.S. Olympic basketball team. Plus, you could win daily prizes like $100 grocery shopping sprees. But let's talk turkey. Lewis Rich is driven to bring you a lower-fat alternative to bacon. When you buy a package of Lewis Rich Turkey Bacon, you get half the fat of red meat bacon. Plus, Lewis Rich Turkey Bacon has a delicious hardwood smoked flavor. With Lewis Rich, you can enjoy eating bacon again.
See the Lewis Rich Turkey Bacon Mobile on Thursday at Cub Foods on Piedmont Road from noon until 3.
Seek out our sizzling Street Smart Wonder and discover great taste and easy winning.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For complete rules and alternate entry, call AM-750 WSB.
Ho, ho, it's that right-wing Santa Claus, Wes Minner. Christmas coming up on us here next week. And Monday night at 8, get ready for more Hardball Talk Radio on the issues of the day. I'll tell you why I don't think the Fed's discount rate of Friday means anything. Plus, how to spot a spendaholic. Right here on Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB.
Jim Powell back with you on Sports Talk. It is 54 minutes past 4 o'clock. New Orleans and Phoenix tied up 3 apiece with about 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. As you heard just moments ago on AM-750 WSB, Morton Anderson, 27-yard field goal to knot the score up. If New Orleans wins, then the Falcons will play in Louisiana next weekend. We still don't know yet whether it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. The NFL should be announcing in the next day or two. And let's see, there was a fumble on the kickoff, and did New Orleans recover the fumble? Let's join that broadcast.
Chandler took over. Tom Tupa was their quarterback for most of the year. He was drafted a few years ago as a quarterback punter.
Well, the Saints get a fumble recovery. And this ball now at the 22-yard line, and Sam Mills comes up with it.
Well, the Saints offense needs to do a better job after this turnover. Did absolutely nothing on that, recovering that fumble from Chris Chandler at the 10-yard line and settled for 3 points.
Yeah, they got it at the 10 and didn't move it at all. Got 5 yards on the drive is all they got.
The
now,
injury report on Chandler is he has a bruised forearm on his throwing arm.
Bobby will bring him up with 2 wideouts to the right side. One of those is John Tice, and he goes in motion to tight end. Bobby will play action fake to Hilliard, throwing to the left. He goes incomplete, threw it a little bit shallow to Eric Martin. Michael Zordich on the coverage.
I think
Bobby has gone down.
I think Bobby Hebert may be shaken up.
Yeah, Bobby's slow to get up. Freddie Joe Nunn was in there pretty good, so was Craig Patterson.
Got a flag. Let's see if that's a holding call or a late hit by the Cardinals.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 50 defense, half the distance, first down.
There's the Ole Miss Rebel there, Freddie Joe Nunn, Arch. He has been a great player over the years, though, hasn't he?
Been a good sack man. Came from Nanawaya, Mississippi. You probably know where that is, don't you?
Exactly. Where would that be? What's close to that?
Philadelphia, Louisville.
Oh, okay. All right, the ball at the 11-yard line. Saints football. 1st and 10 now. They can get the first down without scoring.
Bobby Hebert's 3 for 9 on the day, 26 yards and an interception.
Tice will line up in the backfield as a wingback. 2 wide out to the left. He goes in motion. Tice tight end on the right side as Brenner. Handoff goes to Hilliard, and he's going to knife his way through to about the 6-yard line where Dave Durison again makes the tackle.
Good hole provided up front. We'll mention again, Chris Port could play today. Will probably start in the playoff game next week, but Larry Williams gets the nod today, which Port's not quite 100%.
2nd down and 5 to go for the first down. The ball at the 6-yard line, and it's all tied at 3.
Dalton Hilliard has 20 yards on 4 carries today.
1 wide out to the right. Double tight end formation. Tice on the left, Brenner on the right. Or is it vice versa? Tice on the right, looks like, and Brenner on the left. Here we go. In motion goes Turner to the left side. Offset eye. Hand off. Misdirection. Hilliard right side to the 3, and maybe down to the 2. Oh, I'd say he's a hard runner. Stuck it in there pretty good down near the 2-yard line. That's going to be a yard short of a first down. 2 short of a touchdown.
Good blocking by Jim Dombrowski, who's starting his 73rd consecutive game for the Saints today.
You know, as much as Dave Durison's playing well at strong safety, they missed Tim McDonald back there.
He's in the voted to the Pro Bowl again. Many people feel is the best strong safety in football these days.
All right, here's a big 3rd down play for the Saints. 3rd and a yard to go for a first down. 2 yards to go for the score. Hand off. Hilliard slipped, tries to dive forward, can't get there, but he may have gotten the first down depending where they mark it down. And I don't know. It's going to be close.
This will be close. Dalton wanted to cut back and slip.
Sidney Coleman made the tackle. I don't think he's going to get it. Well, let's see. It depends where they mark it down with his knee or where he stretched it out.
What do you do here? Let's say it's less than a yard. You go for it or kick the field goal?
You know, with the defense the Saints have, I'd love to see them go for it.
Well, the offense just needs to take advantage of these 2 turnovers. You know, the Cardinals with a 4-11 record, though, these 2 turnovers not really characteristic of their team or their season. They're +5 on the year on giveaway takeaway.
It's about a football short of a first down.
I'd go for it.
I would, too. Looks like they might. They're bringing in Mike Kime.
Number 71. Report to an eligible position.
So they'll have Cooper in there as another blocker. Cooper will be lined up as an end, as an eligible end, but he'll be a blocker. And you've got Mike Kime. They've got the meat down there now, Archie. They got the big boys in there.
Well, Mike Kime, first opportunity in uniform for the Saints in a regular season game. The young man out of Brigham Young.
So you've got 3 tackles on the left side. You got a Tice. Here's a handoff. Hilliard, right side, hit behind the line, slips outside, gets to the outside, and goes in for the touchdown. He got hit behind the line, Archie, and he took it in for the score.
Oh, Dalton looks quick. And I've always thought Dalton was maybe a better back on a grass field and possibly even a rainy field. Remember some of the games that Dalton's had out in Anaheim on natural grass? Buford Jordan doing a good job today blocking Larry.
And Hilliard scores to make it a 9-3 ball game. They did go for it on 4th down. And a chance now for the point after to make it a 10-3 game.
Well, I think just an excellent call by Jim Moore to go for it there after 2 turnovers, give the offense an opportunity to come up with some points. And Morton now attempts to make it a 10-3 game.
Barnhart will hold, waiting for the snap. Snap is down, the placement and kick, and it is good. The PAT is good, and that means it's time for pizza after touchdown. Call Pizza Delivery right now to get the pizza after touchdown.
All right, so the Saints have now jumped out to a 10-3 lead in the 2nd quarter, and again, we will periodically join WWL radio out of New Orleans throughout that football game and keep you updated right here on AM-750 WSB. Sports Talk will continue. We'll take more calls in the next hour at 872-0750 or long distance 1-800-WSB-TALK.
Hi, I'm Bert Wolf.
I've been reporting on food for over 25 years. I've heard just about every claim for low prices imaginable, and I have a simple test. Get a pencil and paper and make a list of the 10 items you spend the most on each week. Things like bread, soda, cereal, detergent. Then find out who has low prices on these things every day. That's the store for you. That's Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie has low prices nobody can beat. Nobody.
Shop the low-price leader and get more holiday fun for your money. Now through Christmas Eve, Winn-Dixie brings you a great price on WD whole smoked ham, just 88 cents a pound. Limit one, please. Shop the Winn-Dixie fresh seafood department nearest you for jumbo tiger shrimp. 21 to 25 count, just $5.98 a pound, steam-free. And half gallons of Prestige ice cream are 2 for $5. Winn-Dixie. Low prices nobody can beat. Nobody.
This is Scott Slade saying thank you for showing the heart of Atlanta to unfortunate children all around our city. Keep those calls coming for the AM-750 WSB Christmas Kids.
WSB Atlanta.
AM-750 WSB. Our news time right now is 5:02.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Kennedy in the AM-750 WSB News Center. The temperature at 5:02, 62 degrees. Tonight's weather, cloudy, lows in the upper 40s. Meteorologist Kirk Mellish reports the Weather Center forecast exclusively on AM-750 WSB. They called him the Russian, a big, easygoing, crew-cut cop who worked the tough southeast side of Atlanta. Well, last night he was killed answering a report of a suspicious person near the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. Niles Johansson was 32 years old. He leaves behind a widow and 2 children. A warrant is out for the man suspected to have shot him, 20-year-old Norris Speed. Johansson had been with the department since 1988. Secretary of State James Baker is back in Washington and pretty happy with what he heard during his tour of the former Soviet republics. Barry Schweid reports.
After talks with leaders of 5 republics, Secretary of State James Baker became convinced all 5 would try to adhere to the democratic principles he urged on them, among them safeguarding minority rights. But they will do these things as independent states, Baker concluded. There is no union in any real sense. The Commonwealth is an agreement between independent states. This doesn't appear to concern Baker or others in the Bush administration. All the U.S. insists is that nuclear weapons be safeguarded under one unified command. Barry Schweid at the State Department.
President Bush is scheduled to meet with Baker today to discuss the latest events surrounding the new Commonwealth of Independent States. In an interview with CBS's Face the Nation, Mikhail Gorbachev says Russian President Boris Yeltsin needs to be more democratic and aware of his responsibilities within the new Commonwealth. Gorbachev describes Yeltsin as a sincere man, but hopes he's consistent with his new power. Gorbachev's own future is uncertain. He's indicated he may resign within the next few days. News reports say rebel troops in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia have tried twice today to storm the Parliament building. Troops have been fighting with forces loyal to the Georgia president. 7 people reportedly have been killed, another 50 wounded. Former hostage Terry Waite says he knew nothing of the U.S. arms for hostage deal, and that he does say that he was tortured by his Islamic captors because of their suspicions that he knew something. He also denied reports that he was wearing a concealed transmitter when he was seized on what he thought was a trip to visit American hostages in Lebanon in January 1987.
Not only was my clothing changed, but if there was a scar on my body, it was probed. My teeth were examined. On one occasion, they threatened to pull out teeth, to look under teeth. And if any bugging device be on me, I would be a dead man.
The Church of England envoy said attempts to trade arms for hostages were foolish, but he refuses to blame Marine Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North for his nearly 5 years as a hostage in Lebanon. AM-750 WSB News Center time, 5:05. Just ahead, killer weather in Texas, plus Atlanta's weather.
No one has to remind you how many days are left till Christmas. And we wouldn't dare remind you how many people are left on that list of yours. Like your sister, who kept you from going over the edge at least 90 times this year. Or your friend Lori, who gives the word picky a whole new meaning. And then there's Aunt Delia, who firmly believes she was born to be indulged with life's finer things. What about gifts for them?
You could go to a Godiva chocolatier. You could choose from a decadent variety of absolutely indulgent chocolate wonders in gorgeous holiday wrappings. You could even choose truffles so incredible your sister will put up with you for another year. Or assortments with fillings so fabulous, even Miss Particular can't pick on them. And talk about finding something divine to indulge Aunt Delia in. You could do all this at one little Godiva chocolatier. Unless, of course, you still believe some man with a white beard is going to help you out.
Find the perfect gift for everyone on your list at Godiva Chocolatier at Perimeter Mall, the Godiva counter at Macy's, or the store nearest you.
Introducing the Iverson Advantage, a new way to buy personal computers. Now in Norcross on Jimmy Carter Boulevard. At Iverson PC Factory Warehouse, you get state-of-the-art computer systems built with brand-name components at low factory direct prices. Unlike mail order and the so-called discount retailers, you get Iverson's knowledgeable PC advisors and service technicians to help you choose the best PC system for your needs and your budget. Stop in today and learn for yourself why leading magazines like PC Computing, Computer Shopper, and PC Magazine praise Iverson pricing, quality, customer support, and 2-year warranty. Use credit cards or installment financing. Corporate buyers find volume discounts, and federal government agencies and employees get immediate delivery on GSA schedule systems. Iverson has been building high quality here in the United States for 13 years and is now selling direct to customers with stores coast to coast. Come in today to 5865 Jimmy Carter Boulevard in Norcross Commerce Plaza Shopping Center or call 449-3130.
AM-750 WSB News Center time 5:07. Officials at the American University Hospital in Beirut say the decomposed body of Marine Lieutenant Colonel William Higgins could be in the morgue there. An Associated Press reporter who saw the body says the victim has the features of a Westerner with black stains around his neck. U.S. Embassy officials say they haven't been contacted about the body. Higgins' Lebanese kidnappers claim to have executed him in 1989 in retaliation for the abduction of a Shiite Muslim cleric. At least 13 people have died in bad weather in Texas, and 5 others are missing following several days of downpours. Up to 4 more inches of rain is expected in some areas today. Hundreds of people have been forced from their homes. WSB Radio has been asked to assist authorities in the recovery of property stolen in a burglary at Phipps Plaza Friday evening. If you have information on items taken from a 4x4 pickup near the Saks Fifth Avenue entrance, please call 741-0750. A $1,000 reward is offered. The time is 5:08. WSB Skycopter Sky Plane Traffic helps you save time tomorrow morning. Hear a report every 6 minutes, only on AM-750 WSB. Now here's Atlanta's 5-day forecast. It's calling for cloudy tonight, lows in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms developing, highs in the low 60s. Christmas Day outlook for sunshine, highs 50 to 55, lows 30 to 35. Recapping tonight's forecast, cloudy, lows in the upper 40s. And currently, WSB color radar is clear under cloudy skies. Relative humidity, 61%. Winds from the west at 14 miles an hour. Barometric pressure, 30.12 and falling. And at 5:09, the temperature on Peachtree Street, 62 degrees. More sports talk with Jim Powell coming up next. I'm Tom Kennedy, and if news breaks out, we'll break in. This is Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station, AM 750 WSB. Depend on it.
AM 750 WSB, the sports voice of the South, presents Sports Talk with Jim Powell. To be a part, call 872-0750 or 1-800-WSB-TALK.
And welcome back into Sports Talk here on AM 750 WSB. Keith Pepper is our producer this afternoon. This is Jim Powell taking calls at 872-0750. Saints leading the Cardinals 10-3. If New Orleans wins, Atlanta plays at New Orleans next weekend. If the Saints somehow find a way to lose to the Cardinals, then Atlanta would host the Saints next weekend. And with New Orleans up by 7 points right now, the Saints have the ball again and are on the Cardinal approximately the 40-yard line, and we'll check back into that broadcast off WWL in just a couple of moments. For now, let's go back to the phones. Doug in Lawrenceville has been waiting a while. Hello, Doug.
Hello, Jim. How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
I'd just like to make a few comments. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'd like to thank Atlanta for making it to the playoffs and going as far as they did, but I really felt like the referees were on us today. We saw Irvin pushing off on McIyer on almost every single play where he caught the ball, and I just felt like we were the whipping dogs on this whole whole ordeal. I felt like we were almost singled out to be penalized on some of these plays, and we see people like Irvin pushing off and no penalties called. I just wonder, from your perspective, do you think that we're singled out for more penalties than other teams?
No, we talked about that a couple of minutes ago. There have been studies which have indicated that if you wear black uniforms, you get called for more penalties because the black uniforms, I guess, contrast so much with the other uniforms, and the referee's eyes will tend to stick on the darker, more mysterious-looking uniform than on the lighter and more innocent-looking uniform. And I don't know if that had something to do with it today or not. I agree with you. I saw Irvin pushing off all day long, but I will tell you, it's not just against the Falcons he gets away with that. He's a big, strong receiver, and he gets away with that almost every week.
No doubt. Oh, well, let me ask you one more question. Sean Collins, big, strong, capable receiver, good hands. Saw him a lot last year, a lot of catches over the middle, taking big licks from linebackers. We don't see him anymore. I was wondering, what do you think happened to Sean, and why have we seen his demise from the Falcons offense?
Well, for some reason, apparently, Collins worked his way into the coach's doghouse and has been unable to get out of there. They certainly could have used him today, I would have thought, as thin as we were at the receiver spot. I'd much prefer to see Sean Collins out there than Jason Phillips.
I agree.
Not that Phillips is a bad receiver, but Collins, you know, he impressed not only you and me, but he impressed a lot of folks in Atlanta his first couple of seasons. But he's been stuck on IR, and even though he's ready to play, they just have not put him back in the lineup.
Well, I tell you, us not having a tight end to go across the middle, we miss a big receiver like Sean Collins. Thank you for your time, Jim.
Thank you for the call.
Yes, sir.
And we go to Lamar in Duluth. You're up next on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Hi. Hey, Lamar. Are you there?
Yes. Uh-huh.
You're on, sir.
Okay. I think the Falcons has had a great year.
Yeah.
And I really like to know what happened on that last play with the interference call on Deion Sanders on the end zone play down there.
Yeah, I think everybody would like to know. Technically, I believe they called interference on number 35, which would be Mike Pritchard. And I didn't see Pritchard anywhere in the area, and certainly there was a lot of contact between Deion and that defensive back, and it appeared to be the DB that was doing most of the contacting. That appeared to be a very poor call. But nonetheless, even if you get that call in the end zone, you've got it then first and goal at the 1, and there's still 6 seconds left, and you still have to hit somebody in the end zone for a touchdown. So that call doesn't automatically mean that the Falcons are going to win. Okay, Lamar, thanks very much for the call. Have a good one. Let's see, New Orleans now second down on the 23-yard line of Phoenix, and we'll check in with that broadcast again here in just a moment. Jeff in Norcross, you're up next on AM-750 WSB. Hi.
How's it going?
Doing pretty good.
I didn't get to see the end of the game. I was listening on the radio. Blatant pass interference?
It was pretty blatant, yeah.
They couldn't call it in Dallas, huh?
I guess not.
What about I'm curious about the intensity of our special teams this year. They've won a couple ball games for us. I didn't get to watch it, and I only listened. We gave up a couple big plays. Were they just not as intense this week as they have been previously?
No, I don't think that was the case. Dallas has an outstanding special teams program also. Okay. In fact, Dallas and Atlanta are two of the better ones in the National Football League, so it was an interesting matchup in special teams all day long. The long kickoff return by Alexander Wright was almost predictable on a wet field where you got a guy with world-class sprinter speed like Alexander Wright, and you got defenders trying to get down there, and they might slip, and they have trouble cutting, and they have trouble staying in their lanes because of the field. That was almost a predictable play.
It was going to happen sometime today.
Very well might have. I mean, it certainly wasn't surprising.
Right, okay. I think Glanville's done a great job this year. I'm not a big fan of his. He's still got a few areas which I think he's got to answer this year. One is he's always early out of the playoffs, and we haven't seen that yet, so I'm kind of like holding back. I hear everybody saying they're having a great season. Chris Miller's doing great, but I'm still kind of like sitting back saying, well, let's see what happens in the playoffs. Let's see how far they can go.
Well, the truth of the matter is that it's been a great season, whether the Falcons lose in the first round or not. I mean, they've completely turned things around. They're a legitimate football team, and even though they lost the football game today, you go to a very strong team in Dallas, play at their place.
Right.
They're mad as they can be because we knocked them out of the playoffs last year, and they want nothing more than to keep us from winning the NFC West, and that's their way of extracting revenge. And, but we only lost by 4 points, despite a bunch of bad things happening very early in the football game. A lot of penalties, a long kickoff return.
That was my point. The kickoff and the block punt both typically don't happen to us.
Right.
On special teams. We usually are on the other end of it where we actually win ball games that way.
And playing on the road.
And then playing on the road.
As emotional as Atlanta is, it would have been very easy for the Falcons to just kind of lay down, play dead, and get beat 3-4 touchdowns.
One other question, and I'll let you go. I know you're busy. Sean Collins, I thought he was injured.
He has been injured. He was injured earlier in the season and is on IR.
Okay.
But he is ready to play again. He
could have played today.
He could have played today, yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the call.
All right, bye-bye.
872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk, our numbers. They are at the 2-minute warning now in Phoenix, and New Orleans is, in fact, they've just gone inside the 2-minute warning. They've begun to play again. New Orleans is deep in Phoenix territory. And in just a couple of minutes, well, should we check in on the broadcast now, see what's happening? Let's do it. Let's go to WWL.
Recovered. Eric Swan is checked in for the Cardinals now. He went to NC State, did not make it academically, and started playing pro football or semi-pro football for the Bay State Titans. Paid for no money, but they gave him a job. Now he's playing right over the center. He is 310 pounds.
Has 4 sacks this year. He's a good prospect. Cardinals are just rushing 3 people. They'll be covering with 8 right here.
3rd and 13 from the 29. Hebert throwing. High leaping catch by Turner at the 23. Can't get loose, though. He's down there at the 23-yard line by Lorenzo Lynch.
Not enough for a first down. Should put the Saints, though, in good position for Morton Anderson to attempt a field goal. I mentioned before, Morton is 9 for 9 in his career against the Cardinals. Morton is 24 for 31 on the year. Morton, of course, disappointed in not making the Pro Bowl.
This will be right at a 40-yarder, and he's 6 out of 9 this year from that distance. And lining up Hobie Brenner now. They're shifting around a bit. Waiting for the snap. Placement is down. The kick is up. Oh, he's drilled it long enough. Is it straight? Yes, it is. 40-yard field goal for Morton Anderson has given the Saints now a 10-point lead at 13-3, and that came with just 21 seconds remaining until halftime.
So there you see 21 seconds remaining in the first half, and New Orleans now the 10-point lead on Phoenix, 13-3, and we'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon. Our phone number, 872-0750, long distance, 1-800-WSB Talk, and we'll pause for a break, come back with more of your calls in just a moment.
You know, we really hate to do it sometimes, but from time to time, we just have to break right into regular programming to give you the top news first, to get it on fast. You never have to wait to hear the news on AM-750 WSB. When news breaks out, we simply break in. That's the news leader's guarantee. From Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station, AM-750 WSB.
With a pinch of love and a dash of joy, somebody's making a special surprise. It's a season with ginger and spice.
If you still have a little last-minute shopping to do, or if you're just getting started, your local Target store has a special surprise. Right now, you can find unadvertised pre-Christmas specials almost everywhere you look. The kind of low, low prices you usually find after Christmas. Even if you're through Christmas shopping, it'll be well worth your while to make one more stop at Target, where right now all Christmas wrapping paper is 25% off. Stop by your local Target store and look for unadvertised pre-Christmas specials. It's the season to save right now at Target.
It's the season with ginger and spice.
Start your week with us Monday on AM-750 WSB. We'll have news, weather, and traffic reports between 5 and 9 a.m. as always. And, you know, almost a third of us don't even finish our Christmas shopping until Christmas Eve itself. Monday, last-minute gift ideas that work. Here on Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station, AM-750 WSB News Talk Radio.
The other scores in the NFL, Washington leads Philadelphia 10-7. In the second quarter, Ricky Irvins with a 1-yard touchdown run. Denver on top of San Diego 10-0. That is also in the second quarter. David Treadwell, 42-yard field goal. Steve Sewell, 2-yard touchdown run. And Kansas City leading the Raiders 17-7 in the second quarter. Nick Lowry has kicked now a 33-yard field goal. J.J. Burden caught a 57-yard touchdown pass thrown by Steve DeBerg. Jim Powell back with you on Sports Talk here on AM-750 WSB. And straight back to the phones we go. Next up is Frank on a car phone in Buford. Hello, Frank.
I'm sorry.
And Frank is gone now, apparently. That didn't sound like Frank anyway. Mike in Fayetteville, you're next on AM-750 WSB. Hi.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Doing pretty good.
Hey, listen, a couple of things for you, a couple of comments. Anytime your defense gives your quarterback 4 opportunities to score points and all you can get is 1 field goal, you ain't a great quarterback. How Miller made All-Pro is beyond me. I just figure, man, there must really be hurting for quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't like him. I don't think he deserves to be on the Atlanta team, and I wish they'd trade him.
Well, maybe they'll have open tryouts, Mike, and you can jump right in there, throw on your shoulder pads and your helmet, and throw your helmet into the ring. See if you can do a better job. Kevin in Kennesaw, you're next on AM-750 WSB. I hate to be short with people, but I'm just tired of it.
Oh, I know it, man. He's sort of a nut, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Calling about Chris Miller is one of the best quarterbacks that the Falcons have had since Bartkowski left, I believe.
I agree. He's not a perfect quarterback.
No, but the guy has so much talent. I believe that.
I don't know what happens. I wonder if these people sit at home or something playing John Madden football on their Sega system or something, and they see the quarterback never overthrowing and never underthrowing, and they expect an NFL quarterback to do the same thing.
We don't live in a utopian society, but his offensive line's been decimated for most of this season, and you can't throw a football in on your back. I believe that was his problem at the beginning of the year. But I was going to give you a little ruling on that call. I'm a Dallas fan. I've been a Dallas fan all my life, but I was going to give you a ruling on the call that they had in the end zone with Deion Sanders.
Okay, I want to hear this explanation.
Okay, if he gave, I believe Larry Brown was covering him, and he gave him the outside lane, and he may have forced him out of bounds, but the offensive player, he can come back in bounds, but in professional football, you cannot be the first to touch it. The defensive man